hot take that you cheat, you should go to jail. Cheating should be illegal.
I used to think it was illegal.
It's horrible.
Go to jail. Go think about what you've done.
We realize that a lot of moms are really lonely.
Of course you can do everything on your own as a mom.
Right.
But what is the cost of that?
Right.
Your mental health,
Yeah.
your physical health. I never have watched Bachelorette since maybe 2019.
I'm like, if Caleb and I ever broke up, would I go on the show? Yeah.
Really? I feel like Matt would be like, yeah, babe, you go do it. Like, he would support me.
Welcome back to Always Here. I'm your host, Abby Howard.
And Abby Howard.
And we're here to share the hope and the hard with heart and humor.
Every week. Every
week.
Friday. Or whenever you listen to it.
Yeah, I usually listen to it on Mondays.
Really?
Well, the Monday before.
Oh, I was like,
A little behind the scenes.
behind the scenes.
We have exciting developments in the Always Here family. Our editor and his wife are currently at the hospital having their baby.
Yay,
So we're so excited. We're so excited for you, Randy, and your family. So exciting.
Very sweet.
Yes.
All right. Well, there's been lots of good pop culture things going on. Well, should we say good or entertaining? Mm-hmm. Things to talk about. Mm-hmm. I've been talking about it a lot with other people. And I usually don't know what's going on.
Before we jump into this, can I
What?
tell you guys about my morning?
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. What's
Tell us.
happening?
Okay, you guys, I feel out of it. It's because I've been scrubbing diarrhea off my rug.
From your dog?
Yes, I woke up at 6:45 this morning and I go, what's that smell? What's that smell? And then I look and I go, it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a bad day.
Does he have a sensitive stomach?
I don't think so. No.
It's been going around.
I don't know. Yeah, it's been bad. So
Diarrhea?
yes, I had a whole list of things that I
And
wanted
he's
to
a
do
big
today.
dog.
It was, yeah, I might have to get rid of the rug. I don't want to go into graphic of details, but yeah, we've been working on it for a couple hours, so we'll see how it goes.
Was Caleb there?
Caleb was there this morning when it happened.
You have to fumigate your house.
Normally he tells us when he's like needs to go out, so I was really surprised that that
It was
happened.
an emergency.
I guess I think he was surprised by it. I know. So if I feel off, it's because I'm just thinking about it and currently smelling it. I can't get the smell out of my nose.
That is so gross.
bad. I know.
No.
That happened while we were on our cruise and my parents were watching our dogs. Both of them got diarrhea bad multiple times in our house. And we just got our carpets cleaned.
Nice. That's all you can do, honestly.
It was bad. There were just spots.
Yeah. It's just like, what are you supposed to do, you know? So that's a fun one to start the pod off with.
That's a good day. That's a good day.
It's hard. It's been hard.
It's been hard. Dang it.
Yeah, but our hope is that we've been distracting ourselves with lots of good TV.
Yeah,
you go.
I'm surprised that I even watched it and know what's going on.
Yeah, I was so surprised that you watched it.
Well, I had a rough weekend, but it's fine.
Yes, we watched
And
talking
so I was
about the
watching
America's,
on TV.
America's Next Top Model. That's what
Yes.
we're talking about. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I actually loved that show, like growing up.
You did?
Which I'm like, maybe I was a little young for that.
I was curious. Addie, did you watch it?
Not really.
I remember being in maybe 5th and 6th grade when it was out. So, and that was young to be watching it. So I was surprised. 3rd grade, Abby.
Potentially. Well, also, I feel like they played the reruns forever, like
That's
on
so
TV.
true.
And I think I was probably watching like a ton of reruns.
They did have 24 seasons.
I
And-
knew what it was about and stuff. Surely
you
I saw
watched
some
it?
seasons. I feel like I never actually tuned in and watched
Oh,
it.
Addie, you missed a whole good
I
era of
actually,
television.
is it controversial to say I kind of want to go back and watch it all?
you
No, you
should.
should.
Okay.
No, you should.
It's good
It's
TV.
great
Seems like
TV.
TV I would like.
It is great TV.
And I feel like I was actually also part of the the group of people that started watching the reruns during COVID. I actually had COVID, and I had it bad, guys.
Oh, the first time?
The first time
I remember that.
I was fainting,
Yeah.
and
You're
I was
throwing up.
without Matt because we separated because he had it and
Yeah.
I didn't have it, so he went and separated. Which was weird because we were married.
Christmas of 2020.
But no one knew how to handle it.
Yeah.
And so, no, this was before Christmas, actually.
Oh, was it?
It was around maybe.
It was a little
Because
before.
we were there. Blake and I were there
Yeah,
too.
they saw me faint.
I got it
We-
after
we-
Christmas.
And I was like freaking out because I wasn't with Matt. I was like, I want Matt. So then my mom laid in bed with me and watched reruns of America's Next Top Model. We watched a whole
Aw.
season.
Wow. Sweet.
Anyway, all that to say, the documentary I was very invested because I actually even knew the cycles they were talking about. And
Yeah.
some of the shoots, I was like, oh, I remember that.
I remember those.
that.
Totally.
And just to say one thing, when I watched it, even watching reruns, I didn't think anything of it, which I mean, I feel like we're all kind of in that boat. So many people watched it. It was like the #1 show.
Right.
And I don't think it was like because they were like, this show is like
so popular, we can get away with anything.
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, and then now we've like learned, we know better now about like some things.
Yeah,
and
some of
like,
the shoots are crazy.
oh yeah, that was not necessary.
Yeah.
That was like immoral. Like,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. What were your top note thoughts?
I thought it was very entertaining. I will say I don't have a lot of pity for people that go on reality TV competition shows, which maybe isn't like the nicest thing to say. But I felt the same way about the Biggest Loser documentary. Like, if you're waiting in line to go on a show and you see, I feel like I have pity for the first season people. But then after that, it's like you're auditioning to be on this. You watch the show, you know what you're getting into. You know you're doing crazy shoots. You know you're going to get a terrible makeover. Like, you know you're doing these things. Then I'm like, can you really be upset about it? Because you always have the choice to leave. You know what I mean?
Right. And some people did leave. That one girl, she was like, I'm out. And they're like, you're going to give up this opportunity. She's like, yeah.
Yes, I will.
She's like, I'm out.
And that's outside of the unethical things. Like, there were obviously a lot of really like the Shandy thing was really sad. I'm not speaking about that. I'm more so just talking about like if people don't like the shoots and stuff.
Yes.
You can leave. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the Shandy thing was like super sad.
That was
the thing that
horrible.
really stood out to me because it was just like a lot of these things like in the time, like maybe we didn't hold ourselves to the same standard we do now. We learn more so we can do better. But that was like wrong then, clearly wrong now, and actually even illegal. Like I was like, she was blackout drunk, and even it made me sad that even in her like modern day commentary, like I don't want to speak for her, but just like knowing the basics of the situation that they detailed, I was like, that was not consensual. That was not sex. That was like illegal what happened to her, and you did not cheat in my opinion. Like yes, you went to the show with a boyfriend, but like none of that happened with your consent. So I don't. Yeah, and it was just so sad, and it just kept getting worse. I feel like because like the recordings, none of like I don't even. There was also people were mad about the people filming, which I'm also like, yeah, that's so wrong that they filmed that. But then also there was other girls in the house too, like they were there too, and sharing a room with her. I was like, there's a lot of accountability that should have happened.
Sure.
Like that made me really really sad, and I don't know, even just her talking about it then, like in like modern day, like you could tell that she still like blamed herself.
She does.
It makes me so sad.
So sad. For context, if you guys didn't see the show,
sorry.
Shandy was on the first or second season, like really early on, right?
I think cycle 2.
Cycle 2. And they went to Italy. It was the first time they ever went abroad, and they had a party and there was drinking involved, and they invited some of the guys from their day challenge that they had, and she was just very drunk, and there was definitely some essay that happened, and she talked about it, and then
it was recorded.
The whole thing was recorded. Then afterwards, because it was now a storyline, they had a recorder calling her boyfriend and telling him about
Devastating.
it. Horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. And it's like, this is a modeling show. Is this necessary? You know? So I think it does bring up a lot of conversation just about the ethics of reality TV show, because honestly, I don't know if it's better today. I think about some of the stuff that's on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Real Housewives. And sometimes I even remember on Secret Lives, Jessie was talking about how like things came out with her affair that she had. And she's like, well, I know I'm going to have to talk about this on the show. Like she didn't really have a choice to talk about it or not. And I just feel like that's very interesting and sad. But also it's their
that's
job,
a good point. Like
and
it might
sign
not.
off.
We might not even have actually made any progress.
I don't know if we have.
At least in that area of like, I don't know,
Deeply
ethics and
personal things.
reality TV. Yeah, it made me so sad.
Yeah, and the expectation on people just to be blatant about everything in their life on some of these hard things is really. I would be curious because I don't know, Addie, you watch a lot more reality TV. Do you feel like can you think of times where people have kept things off screen?
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure it's in their contract somewhere that when things happen that they have to speak about it publicly.
Right.
Or they negotiate a contract not to speak about it. I mean, think about, okay, you watch the Kardashians.
Yeah.
How much does Kim talk about Kanye? Is that something they don't talk about now?
No, but they're also producers, which is different.
That is true.
They produce
It's a little
show.
bit different, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there are
It's
things.
totally different.
Yeah, because I mean, TLC, like I used to watch it all the time. I feel like everything is on there. Even when we've talked to the the Duggars or things like that, like they talk about everything, but there are some things they don't talk about. I think for reality TV, mostly you have to talk about everything.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Or also it's like, or we're going to still share this element of the plot, and then like you either can comment on it or you can just not comment, in which case like people have no context.
Totally.
So, yeah.
There was an interesting point too that Emma, on our call, she's one of our producers, she pointed out that a lot of these girls were really young, like 17, 18 years old. Mm-hmm. So,
and there's a power issue there, and
with a celebrity, and yeah, it was very sad to watch that. It was hard. So
it was a well done documentary though. I thought
it was too. You know, I saw some comments being like, Netflix always puts the abusers in the seat to hear. I mean, I think that's a crazy thing to call somebody.
I think it would have been poorly done if you didn't have Tyra on.
I also don't think it put Tyra in a great light.
No.
Like, even when she was speaking, I'm like, she's not defending herself in a way that I'm bought in.
Her or Ken. Let's say it's not just her. Ken also took no accountability.
Who's Ken?
Ken was the producer. Or the other producer.
Yeah, I liked him a little bit more.
I liked him more too. He did say, he said,
he was like, that was wrong.
He said
one thing.
Yeah, he did say that was
on the switching race thing.
No,
was that what he said?
That wasn't the one.
No.
It was a domestic violence one because the girl that was doing the photo, her mother had been shot in the head, and then they made her do that photo shoot.
Sometimes when you hear things like that, you're like, what were they thinking? That's crazy. What was the one thing that I was like?
No, what was his name? Nigel Barker.
Nigel.
Honestly, he was the king of that.
Nigel.
He was the king of the show too. And you know, I feel like he played he did it well and honest. He was like, yeah, that was it was a different time. He's like, he's like looking back at it now. He's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, this was wrong. And but I feel like he was very fair and like,
I think so too.
And just real.
Totally
Liked him.
I liked him too. I remember liking him on the show a lot. I thought Miss J was really sad, his story. I didn't know that he had like
I didn't know that either.
Ailments. It was interesting seeing more of like the Where Are They Now type of
That
thing.
was really sweet with like that they like Jay and Nigel and like all them like hugging and like that they came to visit him in the hospital. That was really
cool.
Sweet.
So sweet.
I appreciate that like behind the scenes like caring for each other.
Totally.
That like Tyra did it.
It
was such a bummer too because I was growing up like such a Tyra fan. Like Life Size.
I was gonna say, do you remember Life Size?
I remember distinctly one day I had the stomach flu and my dad had to stay home from work with me because I was throwing up all day and I made him watch Life Size 3 times with me.
Oh my gosh.
And my dad did. He watched it 3 times with me and I was like, Dad, this is the best movie ever. Like, because think about it, a little kid, like her doll comes to life. It's with Lindsay Lohan and Tyra Banks. That was a good movie. I would watch it again.
Cute movie. We should do it. Have you seen it, Addie?
No.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Addie.
It's a classic.
It's so good, and I'm gonna be really sad if I rewatch it and I hate it. I actually told Matt the other day, I was like, we need to watch Like of the Irish. It's about to be like, it's about to be March. The Irish.
Wait, is that the Disney one?
It's a DCOM.
It's the same. It's a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
DCOM.
I actually went
Disney Channel original movie.
Come on, Addie.
This is when our age differences are starting to show.
Well, I knew about Disney Channel original movie. I just never knew DCOM.
Oh, yeah, DCOM.
Oh, yeah, baby. It's a DCOM. We should do a quiz or something where we quiz all each other on old,
I watched a lot of TV.
I did too.
This one's different, but I learned last night what someone said they're a CEO in reference to church. Christmas and Easter only.
Oh, I never heard that either.
They were creasers. No, they called it, he goes, I was a CEO. And I'm like, we were like, he's like, Christmas and Easter only. We're like,
oh. You're like, did you just think we were going to know that?
I was like, never heard of it.
I love it. That's great.
Anyway, yeah, that was well done.
That was a really good one. Oh, the reason I was thinking, the other documentary where they put an actual, like, okay, I don't want to say anything about Tyra. I don't know if she's an abuser or not. But an actual abuser.
Yes.
Was that documentary on Netflix about.
I liked having her perspective. Okay, wait.
What was that called? The stalker, unknown caller, where the mom ended up being the one that was like
abusing her daughter,
and she was cyber stalking her.
People were mad that she was in the documentary. I totally agree with her.
I loved that she was in it. I didn't paint her in a good light at all. And actually maybe have more empathy for the daughter because I'm like, wait, this is what she has to put up with at home?
Yes, she has zero remorse. I think the fact that she showed zero remorse spoke volumes to me as a viewer. And like all the, like you said, it kind of just like sets the scene more for what this daughter was living with all the time. And I think that we need to give ourselves more credit as an audience that we can still like make do critical thinking when we're watching something.
Right.
We say like, oh, that's wrong.
That's
like
weird.
Even what she's saying is like
that's
so
right.
off base. But we're allowed to make those. We're allowed to have critical thinking.
Right.
Like, we can do that ourselves.
Right. I think you can also have empathy for someone that did bad things and still think that those things were bad.
Right.
Like I can be like, oh wow, that's really sad that their life was like that. Can't believe that they killed people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think both things can be true.
Right.
Just because you feel compassion doesn't mean that doesn't like right
make
their
it
wrongs. Right.
Like make wrongs right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
so
true.
I really like that they include both sides of the story.
I think they had a lot of good. It was not boring. It was very entertaining, and I feel like it was very. They showed a lot of sides, but I like that they had the network even because you also feel that pressure that they had to keep their ratings high and to like constantly do crazy things. But it was interesting because you make the point. I was like, wow, I can't believe they had them do that. Afterwards, we watched this brand new show. Matt and I wanted to watch it. It's a guy from Jack A.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have a new Fear Factor.
Yes.
What's
his name?
We started it. Blake and I think started Fear Factor.
They haven't released all the episodes yet.
Steve.
I never watched that show growing up.
Don't go back.
I'm a girl. I think you're right. Steve something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Steve-O. That's what it is.
It is? Okay.
I think it is. Addie, fact check us.
You reminded me of Jim Carrey.
Totally. He's very expressionist.
But some of the things that they have these contestants do, they were showing previews down the line. I'm talking sticking metal rods through their legs. They're bleeding.
Oh.
Like they are like actually torturing these people for reality TV.
Oh.
And I was like, well, it could get worse.
They could change races.
Those were the ones that I loved on the documentary.
They probably will.
They literally changed ethnicities, and then they're like, but they didn't just do it once. They did it twice. And then they kind of did it a third time.
That is so crazy.
And it was like 9 cycles later.
Yeah, it was. When they showed that, I was like, oh no.
It kept happening.
It kept happening.
And honestly, they cornered those poor girls because they were here to do this shoot. And then the poor girl who was white, she's like, I felt like
I felt like a black girl. And then they handed them the babies. I was like,
that was crazy.
Oh, no. They made him change race and they gave him children
of that race to just like that poor kid.
I'm like, this is really wow.
That's crazy.
I remember that shoot.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Well, because
I was like,
they did it more than once.
I remember thinking that art is beautiful.
I was like, I love that. And the people, yeah. So
okay, sorry. Fear Factor, you're saying it was just crazy.
It was Steve-O. It was the old host, not the new host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new. What do you mean?
You want to know who the new host is?
No, that is the new one.
It's Steve-O, isn't it?
This is Steve-O is not the host of the new Fear Factor. The new Fear Factor, the next chapter on Fox. About. He's not the host of that.
Oh, who is it?
Who is the new one? I wouldn't recommend the show, by the way. Matt literally lost his attention. And if it, like...
Johnny Knoxville.
Knoxville.
One and the same, honestly.
You knew this guy?
No, I just feel like they kind of do the same thing.
Okay.
Johnny Knoxville, yeah.
They're, like, sticking rods through their skin. Like, bleeding. Like, it's torture. They're, like, torturing
And Matt
them.
lost interest?
Yes. I literally told Matt, I was like, this is a problem. Because he was like trying to skip. He's like, I'm going to skip to the next challenge. I was like,
you're like,
and they did like a suffocation challenge in the episode we watched.
Where they were in the air?
Those bags.
Blake and I watched that episode.
And Matt was like, I'm bored. I was like, your brain is fried.
I have a distinct memory of watching Fear Factor when I was a kid, sitting on my dad's desk in his office eating party pizzas, just sitting there watching them have scorpions crawl all over them, and then a lady had to shave her head. And I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I'd ever do that.
They were dropping snakes on this girl.
That's what they were doing.
Yes.
They were dropping snakes, dropping rats. And I was like, also, where's PETA here?
Where's
They're literally dumping animals into the
rats
tank from the top. So you're right. I mean, reality TV.
I don't think it's gotten better.
This wasn't isolated to America's Next Top Model, and this has not gotten better.
No, and guess what? We're still eating it up. It's terrible.
I was watching. I was like, Matt, those rats are surely getting injured.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah, so anyway, that was a very well done documentary, in my opinion.
I thought it was too. I would recommend it. I thought 3 episodes was the perfect length.
Yeah. No longer than that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, OneSkin, for sponsoring today's episode.
Something I just cannot stand are lengthy skincare routines. Ugh. I need a routine that I can stick to, and so I like to keep that routine very simple but effective, and especially when you've got really good research-backed products that you can trust. And here's the thing, a lot of skincare looks good on paper but doesn't really deliver results. That's why OneSkin really stands out.
They were founded by longevity researchers who asked a simple question. If visible skin aging is driven by damaged senescent cells, what if you could slow down that process instead of just covering it up?
That research led to OS1 OneSkin's proprietary peptide. It's the first ingredient proven to switch off those damaged senescent cells, actually slowing skin aging directly at the source.
Their products are backed by extensive lab and clinical data, including 4 peer-reviewed clinical studies to validate their efficacy and safety on all skin types. Plus, they've got over 10,000 5-star reviews.
Something else that's really cool, this is kind of a girly podcast, and I think we can all celebrate, is that OneSkin was founded by a female PhD scientist, and she understands what it's like to be a woman with skin. Born over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you to unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age.
For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code ABBY at oneskin.co/Abby. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code ABBY. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and tell them that we sent you.
You saw Wuthering Heights?
I saw Wuthering Heights.
What is that about? What is that originally about?
Oh, it's like a...
It's a book, right?
Dark romance. Yeah, it was written in 1847.
Okay.
And her sister wrote Jane Eyre. There's 3 girls.
So it's like a classical novel.
She released it under a male's name, so it would that's
really cool.
And it worked.
Okay, so I feel like I remember hearing about that in school. Maybe that's why I know Wuthering Heights.
Oh yeah, it was actually made mandatory reading in a lot of schools.
We didn't read it in any of my classes.
I didn't either.
I feel like I heard about it.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
It wasn't liked at the time because this book is very it talks about female desire. There's infidelity. There's a lot of
especially taboo
topics, and especially for the 1800s, especially from a woman. There was just so many things about it. But it was wow. I said on my story, I was like, I have a lot of thoughts. And people were like, what did you think? I want to know. I'm like, I cannot convey them in an Instagram story because it was just so much. First of all, I want to say this, and I don't want to sound like such a weenie. And like a whiny weenie when I say this, but we have gotten really good in society about trigger warnings about certain things.
Sure.
And I think that's awesome and great. Mm-hmm. And some of them I'm like, oh, why do we need a trigger warning? It's just because it doesn't apply to me.
Right.
I'm like, that doesn't seem like, oh my God, that seems like something that shouldn't be a big deal. It's like, oh, it just is because it doesn't apply with me to me, which is why they have these.
Right.
And so, and I started talking to a couple other women who have also experienced pregnancy loss and things like that. And they were like, I watched all the media for this movie. No one was ever talking about this, and I was really upset watching the movie. I wouldn't have seen it.
Wow. And
that's how I felt.
That's a part of the plot?
Huge part of the plot.
Wow.
So I'm going to just say this for any woman that's watching, because I know it affects so many people. If you have experienced miscarriage, pregnancy loss, pregnancy complicated, anything like that, don't know that going in. Mm-hmm. And if it's fresh, probably just know yourself. Just don't watch it, because it really did ruin my day. But before all this, well, first of all, also I wanted to bring up on the topic, another show that I was like, they were really careless with this was The House of Dragon, which I know you guys probably, did you watch it?
I didn't watch House of Dragon. So
okay, House of Dragon, there's a ton of miscarriage references, pregnancy complications, all kinds of really traumatic births.
Yeah.
Left and right. And I remember after one of them, there's a crazy scene that was etched forever in my mind. It was fresh after I had one of my sons, and it was an emergency C-section that happened in medieval times. So obviously she's gonna die. She's awake.
Yeah.
And the husband's making the decisions for her. I was like, this is something that is I actually want to vomit. I literally am I can't enjoy this at all. Yeah. And it was actually created by women.
Wow.
To bring awareness to these things. But I was like, this isn't the kind of.
But give a trigger warning.
Yeah.
Give a warning at the beginning. I felt that actually about This Is Us.
Okay.
I loved that movie. And I've never experienced domestic violence, but I had no idea that's what that movie was about.
Oh, it ends with us.
What did I call it?
This is Us. That's a TV show.
Different show. It ends with us. Yeah. And I didn't read the books or anything, and the trailers hinted at nothing about that. So I went in totally blind, not knowing that. And I was like, oh, wow, I had no idea it was about this. And this was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking that if that was something that people had gone through and experienced, or was really hard for them to see, they would have no idea that's what this movie's about.
I felt that way. I was like, if I would have known, I would have absolutely especially at the timing in which I saw it, like, I absolutely would not have seen it. And so, like, Matt was literally like, the color drained from your face. Like, I was like, yeah, because it was deeply disturbing. I didn't hear anyone talking about it.
Yeah, I've just seen people crying online, but they never say why.
Yeah, and it was also like, yeah, okay. Let me just start with the bad. Why don't I start with the bad?
Okay, let's hear it. Give us your
A couple things will never be sexy for me. Infidelity is one of them. Infidelity will never be sexy.
I'm never going to cheer for that in a show.
Their, like, romance was steamy. And then I was like, then she got married to another man. I was like,
so she should go to jail.
I'm not into this. I'm not into this anymore. And I feel like other people, maybe that's just like, I don't know, forbidden love type of thing. But I was just like, just kept thinking of, I was like, and like, they were like in her husband's house. Like, I was like, the disrespect.
I have a hot take that if you cheat, you should go to jail. Cheating should be illegal.
I used to think it was illegal as a kid.
It should be illegal. It's horrible.
Go to jail. You're done.
Go think about what you've done.
Well, I mean, that is a hot take.
I mean, it's a hot take, but anyway, keep going.
We could all use a little bit more accountability.
That's what I'm saying.
But then another thing that will never be sexy, incest, but they're not technically related.
What?
But they're essentially brother and sister.
What?
So I think about like a half brother.
Oh, are they adopted?
Or like stepsister, not a half brother, not half brother, not
step siblings.
Step sibling situation. He is taken into the house as a child, and they're raised together.
Oh. That's kind of like Clueless, though, you know?
Yeah, that was gross also.
It
also
was gross. He also did seem really old in Clueless, but that's besides the point.
So
yeah, it's kind of gross.
There were points where I was like, yeah, they're not related. And I was like, oh, they're cute. And I'm like, but they are. Like, we all know someone from our childhood that kind of felt like a brother to us. And then I was like, no. Like, that was a line. That was a line. It wasn't for them, but it was a line for...
Right.
And so there was just... Sometimes that kind of bothered me.
Sure.
Other things I really liked about the movie, I think the acting was amazing. The soundtrack with it was amazing. The costuming, the set, like, the storytelling was all very beautiful. Like, I thought it was really, really, really good. And great one to watch with your husband, I would say. Like,
why?
It was just steamy.
Oh!
But no nudity. So I, like, appreciated that, and I really liked that aspect of it. Great movie.
Great movie.
Just really wish I never saw it. Great movie. It was the best movie that I wish I never saw.
Okay, great.
So I just feel like everyone should know that going in. I didn't read the book, so I have to say that. I know that some of the criticism is that it didn't follow the book, which apparently it really didn't, because I did a deep dive into like what the plot of the book was, which is also why I would say the trigger warning would be very important, is because in the actual book, there is not a miscarriage. Sure. There is a traumatic pregnancy birth situation, but it's not a miscarriage, and I do think that
they land differently.
They land very differently, and I also think that either way, like, you should probably have a trigger warning. Yeah. And I feel like such a weenie saying that, but it really, really, like, as a consumer, I feel like I couldn't have even protected myself from that, like, type of thing. And it genuinely did ruin my night.
Yeah.
And so, great movie though.
Do you like, or does that bother you when they change the movie from how the book was, or do you like it? I feel like it
actually doesn't bother me. I always feel really proud of myself, and I'm like, that's different from the book. Like, I me too. I'm really proud of myself, but I don't think it necessarily bothers me. I'm like, I can see why they made that change. With Wuthering Heights, they could have made a chapter 1 and chapter 2 because, like they did with Wicked, because the movie ended at the halfway point of the book. There's a whole nother following of the next generation in the book. Oh. So it didn't feel like it was missing anything, in my opinion, either.
Well, are they going to do are they going to do a second one, maybe?
I don't think so. They ended it very finally, in my opinion. Oh. I don't think there's even been conversation about a second one.
I don't think so.
In fact, I'm out if they did, because that was just... I also never watch genres like that. I don't even watch rom-coms, but I don't watch romance, like, really at all.
Hey, you watch House of Dragons.
Yes.
Like, we're picking it up.
It's because I always watch shows with Matt. Like,
yeah.
I think you should know that before you watch it. I'm just saying.
That's good to know, because I feel like everyone's talking about it online. And I'm just like, do I need to go see this? But knowing that it's spicy and sad, I probably won't go. Those are my two kind of nanas.
It's not.
I don't want to cry, and I don't.
No. It's dark. Like it's like depressing and dark.
I
feel like there's a couple other triggers that you could probably like look into as well. Because I mean, the whole thing is very adult, even though there is no nudity, and I don't even think there's cussing in it. Like, and there's no like drugs. Like it's, but it was
Just adult themes.
Really adult. It was really adult.
I think that's interesting that you bring that up because, yeah, we have nudity ratings, language ratings, drug and violence and alcohol. Like, they have those.
They do
built in.
Have adult themes as, like, sometimes I've seen in, like, movie ratings.
Oh,
like, adult themes will get it a higher. But those are also more subjective. It's kind of hard to, like.
Totally.
I feel like that's why, like, I feel like we all had PG-13 movies as kids that we were allowed to watch, even though we weren't 13. For us, it was Jurassic Park and Star Wars. We were allowed to watch those.
Was I allowed to? I just watched all of them. My parents didn't stop me. Like The Notebook on repeat. Like 10 years
Different
old.
household. Different. They were like Jurassic Park and Star Wars, and those scared me.
See, you had a brother. I never saw Jurassic Park. Still never seen Star Wars.
I think I would say you still have never seen Jurassic Park.
I've never seen it. I don't care to.
It's so good.
Dinosaurs. I don't care. I have a son, so I'll probably see it.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Abby.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I like my TV to be really light and.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I don't want to sweat. I don't want to cry.
You don't want to feel anything.
I don't want to feel anything. I just want to laugh and just then go to bed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We watch different types of movies.
We do. Something light coming up is The Bachelorette.
Yes.
I'm actually going to watch this season. I have not watched in a long time.
I said I would only watch it if I watched it with you guys. If it was like I could lump it into like family sister bonding.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
We're going to make it happen.
Yes.
Over on Mondays?
Yeah.
Is that when it is?
Let's double check.
I don't know. I thought they changed it from Bachelor Monday.
Well, that's during football season. It's not on Mondays.
The girls lost. Their viewership went down. The boys dominated the TVs. Yeah, Taylor Frankie Paul is the Bachelorette.
Yes.
So I actually wanted she's a TikTok girly. We gotta watch.
It premieres Sunday. Sunday, March 22nd.
I like Sundays.
March is busy, you guys. We got a lot of good shows in March.
What else is in March?
Virgin River season 8, maybe.
I thought that one was sad.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like a drama, but it's nice. I don't know. I like it.
Virgin River. Yeah. I feel like only grandmas watch that show.
I've never heard of that in my life.
I loved it. She is our kid's grandma. Well, we were going to do...
Wait, I wanted to ask really quickly before we started on that one. I wanted to ask what we thought about the advertisement because it just popped up on my Instagram. She's holding the book.
I didn't see it.
It says the Book of More Men. And I feel like that had to cause a rise. I don't like really know the commentary.
A lot of the advertising that these Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, their show does, I'm like, the LDS Church, they just have to be so furious about some of this.
I was like, are they offended?
I think they probably should be.
I'm offended for them.
I'm like,
I'm not a member of the church, but I'm offended.
Abigail, can you see all the way over here?
Do you see that? It has the church window in the back. Like,
yeah, that's...
I'm not surprised, but I was a little surprised, actually.
Why are they carrying it on?
I know.
The Bachelor is so separate from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Different everything.
Well,
the Book of Mormon.
They gotta stop claiming you're Mormon. Right we know you're not.
The Book of Mormon. That's a great play on words.
I was like, wow, we really went there.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we doing?
What are we doing? This is Addie's idea. This is fun.
This was my idea. They just announced all of the candidates.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Candidates.
The bachelors?
The bachelors who are going on to the Bachelorette.
Eligible bachelors.
And so we're going to look through them, and we have pictures of each of them, their age, role, and where they live, and we're going to give them superlatives. What happened?
She got a bad bat.
They never look good in these pictures.
Okay,
They're always better.
Okay, who stands out when you're with your first glance? Who's your first impression, Rose? Who do you think's gonna get
just right off the jump?
Either your first impression or who you think's gonna get it.
I feel like Brandon looks nice.
Where's Brandon? Yeah, he does look nice.
He's got a friendly smile.
He's a loan officer. You have to pass a test. You have to pass a test to be a loan officer, a hard test. So
you do?
He might be smart. Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna say Shane. I'm going Shane. Private wealth planner. 28, Atlanta, Georgia.
But he's not smiling with teeth, Abby.
Is that a red flag for you?
He just doesn't look warm.
Can I tell you mine?
Yeah.
I also feel like Michael looks like a sweetie.
This is my problem. I like Malik.
Malik. Yeah, I could see that. I could see her liking Malik. Is this your first impression or hers?
Yeah, are you talking about yours? Oh.
You look nothing like Blake, Addie. I love it. I love it. Oh, this is
Okay,
great.
sorry. Let me get back to her.
I'm
saying,
looking
I
at this.
feel
She has a
like-
good batch of men. I'm
I feel
looking
like
at these
Trenton
pictures.
looks nice, Brandon looks nice, and Michael looks nice. Oh, and Rod looks
Sometimes
nice.
I feel like they give him fake jobs. Like Doug is an ocean lifeguard. I'm like, surely Doug. Well,
What do we think about the
that is like a hard job.
chiropractic healer?
but
He's not
also,
a chiropractor. He's a chiropractic
former
healer.
pro baseball player. I'm like, what's his current job? You know what I mean?
they're only
Malik's
gonna,
a tech executive. That's all I got to say. guys.
I actually should probably say I don't think that she's probably going to go for the nicest guy.
Who's going home night one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be mean.
Yeah, that's sad.
I'm just going to say, just because of age, Matt is 43.
Yeah.
I just think that feels more on the older end for her. I know they had to get all ages. I could even say maybe Christopher because he's 35. I don't really see her going for like older. Trenton's 35 though, and I could see her going for Trenton, but that's because he looks like her exes, I think.
Well, because she has 3 kids.
Yes, you do
That
have to.
plays
It's a factor.
big
Oh, yeah,
factor.
she's a mom, yeah. She's a mom.
And so
I wonder if any of these men are dads.
potentially she would need to find a guy that maybe doesn't want to have any more kids or
So
have,
maybe older is better.
yeah.
That's a good point, Abby.
Question. They don't want anyone who's there for the wrong reasons, but they're casting a social media person, like as someone who's a public figure for the first time as the Bachelorette. And so do we think any of these guys are there for the wrong reasons on your pictures?
Oh, this is
This
hard.
might feel shallow, but this is how it starts.
Brad looks like
It's
one of my
true.
high school teachers, but he's just a cowboy and entrepreneur. It's not him.
Oh, cowboy. Interesting.
A cowboy that lives in Newport Beach,
I love that.
the ritziest area of California.
Cowboy and but he's also / entrepreneur.
I know, yes.
Okay, who's here? Who looks like maybe they're here for the wrong reasons? Let's look at jobs. I'm gonna say
Richard the photographer,
photographer because he's kind of in the art space.
maybe.
I could even say maybe Trenton. He's a pro athlete. Well,
Richard
you
is
know.
not here for the right reasons. I can just already tell.
Conrad, very general startup
Conrad.
founder.
Conrad.
He could be trying to get his company's name out there as a startup
Oh,
founder.
Clayton.
Conrad
singer
does look like an evil
songwriter
villain.
from Nashville,
Singer
Tennessee.
songwriter screams, "I want to like become Instagram famous."
Nashville.
Yeah, you know,
I do think that Doug might be a villain arc,
Doug.
just based on his shirt.
He's got great eyes.
Brad has 158,000 Instagram followers.
Where's Brad?
Cowboy.
Okay, maybe he's there for clout. Honestly, I just don't even blame these people.
But then wouldn't you say he'd be the least likely to be there for clout because he already has a following?
I don't think so. I think he wants more.
Do you
of
think
it more.
because she is famous that it would be good for her to find someone that already has some clout, like that doesn't care about the attention?
I was thinking maybe.
Yeah.
So Clayton also has 44,000, and he's the singer-songwriter.
That's cool. Hey, I'm really rooting for her. I want her to find a great man.
Yeah.
She has 3 adorable children, and yeah, I'm rooting for her. I love her on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Off the jump, I think Michael looks like a kind man.
Who do you think's winning? Wrap it up. Who do you
I
think's
don't
going to
think
win?
she's going to get married to the person that she ends up with, if I'm totally
Oh,
honest.
okay. Then who's she going to end up with? Who's getting her final rose?
Maybe Malik.
Malik.
I'm rooting for Malik.
You never know.
No, I'm going to stick with Shane. First impression and last impression.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm going to agree with that.
You think Shane's going to get the final rose?
There's a million reasons why my opinion on this means 0% because I've never watched Mormon Wives. I never have watched Bachelorette since maybe 2019.
We're going to
Maybe
watch this
2018.
season, and we will keep
So my
everyone
opinion
updated.
is
along.
nothing.
Yes.
But gosh, I wouldn't want to be in her position.
I used to want to be on the, but okay, I was always dating Caleb, but I'm like, if Caleb and I ever broke up, would I go on the show? Yeah.
Really?
You'd apply.
Abby,
As
I
the
would love
Bachelorette?
to watch your season.
I would have gotten no
Why
screen
do I
time. I
feel
would have just
like-
been like, where?
I feel like Matt would be like, yeah, babe, you go do it. Like, he would support me.
The first ever married Bachelorette.
Honestly, America's headed in that direction.
They are,
America is
unfortunately.
really headed.
Yeah.
We really should make adultery a crime.
let's not give them those ideas. We would not watch it.
We don't want it.
They're like, it is the most dramatic season yet.
I always think back. Do you remember that season where they made the men choose between Caitlyn and the other girl?
Yes,
And I
Tasha.
look back on that and I'm like, that is disgusting that they put those 2 girls. They said, we can't decide who we want the Bachelorette to be, so we'll let the guys choose. So on the night one...
So the guys weren't even applying for a specific person.
Girl.
They were just applying
No,
for
they
a
never
show.
are.
But some of them were, and then some of them left, like when the girls they did choose didn't want.
Well, then they probably ended up with her.
But imagine the self-esteem hit. Like, you're a girl, and you're meeting all these guys night one, and they're coming in, and they have to cast their vote, and then you get booted.
Well,
That's
hot take. That's how I
horrible.
feel like the whole show is for anyone that's not the single person looking for anyone that's willing to share a girlfriend or boyfriend with 20 other people.
I also just felt so icky about it. I'm like, you're letting the men choose. Come on.
Well, that's like
Come on.
when they did
That's the whole
Did you watch
show.
the duel season when they had 2 bachelorettes at the same time, Gabby and Katie?
No.
The girls got roses and they gave them to the men, but then sometimes the men would decline because they wanted the
wanted from the
rose
other
from the other girl.
That's when you know they're losing the plot, when they have to start doing crazy stuff to keep people interested.
Well, that's
They're
what
gonna
this
be
season
next,
is.
The next documentary will for sure be about the Bachelor.
I know.
a
I
good
can't
one.
wait.
That'd
I
be a
can't wait
good
for
one.
to hear all this.
All
the
these
tea.
reality TV shows are quaking in their boots.
They totally are. Well, I am excited to watch, and I hope Taylor. She's gonna be great on this show. Well, something that I like to
put
do
you in this position.
to think of a segue.
Yeah, in my segue was in my head. I was like, what would drive men to submit themselves to reality TV? Only loneliness. Extreme loneliness.
I like that one too. Anyway, we're talking about loneliness. So, there was this comment on the last episode or 2 episodes ago. She said, I loved this episode. Quick question. Can you guys touch up on how you resolve conflict, or how do you plan to resolve conflict as sister-in-laws if it was to happen? Do you have plans in place for that? Can you talk about what you did to become really close? And I feel like that's a good framework for us. I feel like we can talk a little bit about conflict, but the second half of that, we get asked a lot, like, how did we become so close? Which is such a sweet question.
That is sweet.
And I honestly give most of the credit to you because you're just a very good includer. But I just feel like we could talk on that. And we were discussing this question. We realized that a lot of moms are really lonely. And so we started kind of diving into more about that and wanted to talk about that. And there's some pretty staggering facts and information out there. I think the one that we were both kind of shocked by is that 80% of
80 to 90. Some research suggests that 80 to 90% of new mothers are lonely.
Yeah, so it's so common. And I feel like I've definitely experienced that. I feel like I probably felt that a little bit more when I had just had CJ, my first, because I do feel like there's an element when it's your first baby and your baby can't go to the park, can't go to play dates, you can't really do any activities yet with your baby, that felt very isolating. And also your baby's small and you're nursing. And there are just a lot of factors, I feel like, when you have one child that make it kind of hard. When you have multiple, I felt like with Vivian, I haven't felt that as much in the newborn season. I feel like it's a little easier to get out and about and do things. So I feel like that does play a role into it. But I remember feeling lonely after having CJ. And so I thought we would just kind of talk about that. Like, what did we do to make friends? How we fostered friendships in this season, especially being parents. And yeah, our thoughts on that.
First of all, I have like a lot of opinions on loneliness and motherhood, like the relationship between the two of the things, because I can easily see where this would happen in the type of culture we have created in America specifically today. But I know that like a lot of these statistics come from the UK too. And I think it's because like I'm almost afraid to share this opinion because I feel like people are going to be mad. But this is... I feel like this is almost undeniable, is that like as a society, we really, really heavily praise independence. There's good aspects of that, but in motherhood, that's not necessarily something to necessarily be praised.
Sure.
Like, of course you can do everything on your own as a mom.
Right.
You can.
Right.
But what is the cost of that?
Right.
Your mental health.
Yeah.
Your physical health. Like, so many things. And ultimately, like, I this can go on to so many other things. Ultimately, like, you're not being necessarily a great role model for your children. And I think that we don't talk about that enough. And the other thing, so we overpraise independence and we shame moms who ask for help. And I think these are the two major pitfalls in how America treats new moms today. And it's probably why we see birth rate going down. People are putting off having kids because it seems so daunting and miserable. Yeah. And then new moms are experiencing like record high levels of depression, anxiety, like all these other mental health crises in hindsight. And it's And I think loneliness is probably one of the key factors of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I also want to acknowledge, I feel very privileged that I have an awesome family that lives close to me and that is, like, I really trust with my kids.
Yeah.
And I know that they keep our kids' best interests at heart. But I do want to also bring up the point that we have multiple friends that have no family here, that live in Arizona, like, in our community. And they're around us all the time. And I know all of our friends would watch their kids and have watched their kids multiple times and, like, or just, like, want to hang out or, like, do dinners together or do all these things. So it doesn't mean that, like, if you don't have that within your own family, that it's all over for you.
Yeah, I think there are ways to build the community and your village to help. Certainly, I agree. Well, I'm curious why you said that you think that that's a bad role model.
Not taking care of yourself.
Oh, sure.
Like letting your physical health, your mental health, not having your own friendships as an adult. Like, I don't think that's a good role model for your kid. Like, to be having friendships, getting out in the community, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. Like, that's what I'm referring to.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot of talks with my kids about that too, because I'm like, well, it's really important for mom to, like, go out and, work out at the gym and, like, it's good for, like, my health. And I think it just becomes like the standard, but I feel like it's easier to have those discussions about our physical health than it is our mental health. And I always make sure I say it. And I was like, honestly, I just think I get to see my friends, which is really important for me too.
Yeah.
And I get to, like, it makes me feel happy and excited and motivated for my day. And so, that's what I was referring to.
That makes sense.
What
I would agree.
would you think? How did I make that sound?
I thought you said if you're showing independence or, like, trying to be independent and doing it all yourself, that's a bad role model.
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Well, I agree with the clarification of it for sure. Yeah, I think there is something to it. It's like the days where I'm home all day long with the kids and, like, not getting out of the house. It's not even that my kids are making me feel impatient. It's just not leaving the house and just being isolated that makes me feel impatient. It's like CJ and Vivian aren't doing anything, but if I'm not, like, getting out, seeing the sun, and speaking to people outside of myself, or even just speaking at all, because sometimes I'm just not saying that much, I start to feel impatient and snappy, and I notice I'm not a very kind mom sometimes. And so it's really good for me mentally to get out and, like, see people. So yeah, I can't imagine a lot of moms, like, it is hard, and sometimes it is expensive to join a gym. It is hard to go, to the park if you have little babies. So then what do you do? How do you do it?
Well, I do think you can take babies to parks. Actually, today I was at the park today with my kids and some friends, and there's a ton of people at the park because it's beautiful here in Arizona. And I thought it was really sweet. There were two moms that were there. They had just, like, little tiny babies, and they did not have any bigger kids. But they were at the park because they were just walking around with their little strollers, were baby wearing, and I think that also just goes to show is, like, your days can be so long as a mom. And those days where I stay home all day, it's like if my kids are sick, I feel that. I'm like, wow, this day feels, like, really, really long. Like, I feel like I have run out of things to, like, do with my kids. I feel like they're bored, we're bored. But we make it a point. We go out every single morning. So, like, this is our, like, everyday routine. We go to the gym, and then we go and have some type of funtivity. And kudos to my friends because I don't plan them. Because I'm apparently, okay, I guess Matt and I have been discussing whether or not I'm type A or type B. Matt thinks
You're a mix.
Okay. And so I was like, I don't plan the events, but
I think you're type B.
Like, you're type B, but you're on the cusp of being
I told
into
Matt,
type A.
I was like, if I was married to somebody else, I think I would sway way more type B. But because Matt is so type B,
You have to be a little bit more.
I feel like I would just try to find some type of equilibrium.
Yeah, sure.
But someone else, one of my friends plans it, and she's awesome. And then we just all go out and do a fun thing with the kids. It's great for the kids. They have their friends. They learn from their friends. They learn to socialize. But more importantly, I'm with them the whole time. And it's also like we just always talk in the car, and we have so much fun. Anyway, that breaks up the day so much. First of all, your house doesn't get trashed in the early part of the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to start off my day with a trashed house.
Sure.
And that is great. But I don't know. I'm going off on a rampage. But it just, or on a
Rant.
I'm going off on a rant. I'm on a rampage. I'm going off on a rant, but I'm saying if you could instill some type of, like, part of your routine where you get out and you see your friends and your friends that have other kids like your age, I think everyone's day goes so much smoother. It really does. And it doesn't mean that, like, I needed their help necessarily even. Like, I didn't need their help. I could go to the park by myself with my kids, and we have many times. But there's just something about that aspect that just, like, fills my cup up for the rest of the day, where I'm like, I got some adult interaction. I got to be with my kids all morning. And I feel like a lot of that is just, it's hard to cultivate that. And so I guess that leads to the question of, like, how do you get there?
Well, I think, too, you don't necessarily, just because you have kids, have to stop hanging out with people that don't have kids. Like, I remember when I had CJ, I think it was a very fortunate time to where all my friends had babies around the same time. But when we were in Kansas City, I had friends that had kids and no one else did. And, like, they would still come and hang out all the time. And, like, I loved holding their baby. And, and of course, obviously, you can't relate on the same level to things. But I was grateful that they didn't. It'd be so easy to isolate. Like, oh, I don't want to nurse in public or nurse in front of people. And, like, sometimes you just have to get over those mental hurdles.
Right.
And still engage. I think that's a big thing is we have to challenge ourselves as moms to get over the mental hurdle of things and just get out the door.
It gets so much easier. It's a muscle. It really is a muscle.
It's a
you
muscle
have to
flex.
strengthen.
Yeah,
because like I remember like getting out of the house the first time with one, and then with two is a whole different ballgame. Getting out of the house is like
you have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the Band-Aid.
And you have to practice.
And you have to overcome some fears too, because you're like, what if this happens and I'm not in the place that I know so well that is so comfortable to me? And so yeah, you have to overcome some fears for sure.
For sure.
I think something else to mention is if you are like you have the flexibility that you work in the afternoons. Like you get to have that time. A lot of people who are working moms don't necessarily have like that big chunk of time you can do. Like I typically work 9 to 5 every day. I still go to the gym every morning and I take Brielle with me. So she gets her interaction with people. I get my interaction with people. I work all day and then she gets to hang out with dad when she goes home. So you can still squeeze it in if you make it a priority. You said it the other day, and I think that's really important to say, is you're in charge of your time. Saying you don't have enough time for something, you're choosing that if that's what you want to make time for. And so I make sure I get up every morning so I can go to the gym and I can get out. And that's what I'm making time for in my week, so that I can have that interaction. Brielle gets to hang out with people, and we do it that way too. So I feel like being in charge of your time is important to like recognize you're actually in charge of it.
I think that actually brings up a good question for me, because like in that research, I wonder if the 80 to 90% of that, I was assuming stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, I was
Maybe.
too.
Okay.
Feeling lonely.
Okay.
But I think working moms probably do too.
Working moms are also probably lonely, but they do have that like adult interaction of going to the workplace
during the day.
most of the time. Yeah.
I could see it being really hard to form good friendships if you're a working mom, because when do you have time to invest in friends? Because you're going to your job, then you just want to be home with your kids.
Right.
And your husband, you know? And so I could imagine that being a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different ballgame.
So I guess maybe we should narrow our
I was
audience.
speaking to stay-at-home moms.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think that was a great point, though, just in
Yeah.
general.
Just if you're a working mom, I feel like that is
making the time.
I mean, a lot of people too are working remotely, which is even more isolating for
That's so true.
like making friendships is really hard. Or I think I made a lot of friends when I worked in an office. I was never a mom then, but I made friends working in an office. But working from home is a lot different, or you're working with a small team, and that's like not a part of your friendship making is at your workplace, and you have to make time for it.
Yeah, totally. I feel like that's good. We can kind of talk about where we've made friends. I feel like I've made a lot of friends. Most of my friends have come from church or the gym. And I think I sometimes hear the price tag of like these boutique fitness gyms. I'm like, man, that's really expensive. But I think it's not just an investment in like your physical health. It's not just a workout class. When you're going somewhere and you're going repeating, it's become a part of your routine. You're going to start forming community and relationships in those places. And I think sometimes that is more important than the physical benefits. And I'm like, man, that you think you budget $100 a month to go out to eat. But like if you budget $100 towards the gym, you're going to make so many friends, you know? And I just feel
And they'll cook dinner for you sometimes.
That'll cook dinner for you, baby. Don't go out to eat and change that budget to go make friends, because I think it's just so good for your mental health. And I think boutique gym is the best place to make friendships.
Blake and I were on a tight budget, and we had a serious, I wouldn't even say serious because Blake just said yes. When I was talking about it, I was like, it's expensive, but one, I was pregnant and I was like, I really want to stay into fitness and this will help me stay reliable. And this is where all the moms are that I know, like this will be fun. And he was just like, yes. And we just reworked the budget because it was important to me. And
totally.
It's been, so I just hit like my 1 year of like being in person.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because I was doing it on demand for a while. So it's like, I completely agree.
Yeah, it's hard, and I'm sure there are different price points and different budgets, but if you can make that work, I feel like the gym and a place that has childcare, Addie, like you're saying, like that's a huge benefit. And if you want to be around specifically other moms, finding a gym that has childcare is probably the best way.
I think I've also poached a lot of my friends off of other friends.
Uh-huh.
Like I've been like, oh, you're friends. I think I definitely poached Val off of you.
Well, I poached everyone off of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I poached a lot of people off of you too.
When we first moved here, you and Matt invited us over every single day for dinner. Almost every single day.
We wouldn't hang out with you.
I know, but that's so nice. But I'm like, they are making us a lot of meals. And then when you were hanging out with friends, you'd always invite me to come. That meant so much to me because I didn't know anybody. And you had friends here. And that's like, that alone, it was just so, helped so much.
Yeah, poach your friends. Do whatever you gotta do. I mean, seriously, gosh. And any good friend's not gonna be like, you took her
hang out with
from
me. I'm like, go hang out with Val.
We're like, no, we all love Val.
Yeah, I know. Like, go hang out
Val,
with her.
here's your
Val.
weekly shout out.
She's getting famous.
Comment below, say we love you, Val.
She's gonna love that. Neighbors, like people just like that living around you. If you're in an apartment building, that's even better. There's a lot more closer to you. And obviously some of these don't happen as organically. But there are, so I've actually been looking into it, and I want to find a way that we can partner as an Always Here podcast with a local charity, because there's actually already organizations doing this very thing, even in our local area, that are helping moms find community, because this is, I mean, we called it the loneliness epidemic, but it's really true.
It is.
And obviously we all know, I feel like we're tired of talking about it, but like our devices are not helping us in this, because we start to feel like we're like seeing all these people and you're like, I actually haven't even talk to them in years, but and so we're definitely losing relationships, we're losing interactions. Motherhood specifically can be like a very, very isolating time.
Yeah, there was a stat on one of those articles that said loneliness affects your health just as much as 15 cigarettes a day.
Yeah,
that's a really crazy statistic.
Yeah,
it's really crazy. I mean, I believe it because I just picture, and maybe this is like the stereotypical, but just sitting at home alone in like the dark with the blinds shut, it's like, that's just sad. That's just the fact of it. And like, I've had days like that, and so I can't imagine if that's every day.
Yeah, well, one of these statistics said like it was in the UK, but I think this probably would be very similar in America, that the new mom typically spends about 8 hours a day alone with the baby. That's your whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also worth saying that like that loneliness. So say you're alone all day with your baby. Once again, I'm speaking to stay-at-home moms. Like 8 hours a day with your baby. Your husband comes home from work, and you're then, without even meaning to, but kind of subconsciously asking your spouse to fill all these other roles for you, which also puts a huge strain on your marriage.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like when Matt is like hanging out with buddies, or like I am having a girls' night, I know that I'm so happy for him, because I'm like, he's gonna just like be so happy and filled up by this.
Yeah.
And like he's so excited and always roots me on to like hang out with girls too, because we just come back charged up in a different way than like with your spouse.
Totally.
They can only fill so many roles. I'm like, you can't girl chatter with me. Like I try sometimes, gosh. Sometimes it works.
And also, even though Caleb's with me all day long, he doesn't understand the things about being a mom, like, or breastfeeding and the things that you think about and all this stuff. And like, I'm grateful to have these thoughts and carry these responsibilities, but like, they also do need to be talked about sometimes with other women that just get it,
Also, this is also could sound really wrong, but I've heard someone else bring up this point. Oh no, I think it was Arthur Brooks. He's like, comparison is actually a good and healthy thing. I don't want to put this in his mouth if this is like, it can be a good and healthy thing in which it's like, okay, I don't know how many times I'm like, okay, like we tried this with the kids, like temp check. What do we think? Like, is this the right way to go about it? And it's not like you're giving your friends the role of parenting your children, or like the authority of like how you run your household. But like, it's really good to just like gain some perspective.
Yeah.
Or it's like they started doing this, and it's like, oh yeah, girl.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
That's normal. We've been doing that for months over here. Like we're still working on that type of thing. Or like we're noticed this, even just like a health thing. Like one of our friends, her husband's a resident. I can't tell you how many times I've just been like, hey, should I take him in for this? Is this like a thing? And I'm like, that is seriously, like, I'm not saying use your friends, but like we all have unique strengths that can contribute to one another to just make this season so much less scary, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think also when we were saying how when you go do things and you're charged by them, or Matt gets to go do things and you go hang out with your girls, like Blake does the same with me, where anytime I ask to hang out with people, he's always like, yes. Like, not that I'm asking permission, but I think there's not many men who watch this podcast, or husbands probably, but it's so encouraging to have your husband want you to go do those things. And so I think tell your husbands to be happy for you.
And really good dads too, because it's like I literally, when I go out, last Friday I went to dinner and we were with a bunch of other moms, and they're like, yeah, I had to beg my husband to like, and I was like, oh. I literally went home. I was like, Matt, thank you so much. He's like, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to be alone with the kids?
Yeah, on a Friday night.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. I was like, Matt, thank you so much. He's like,
wow.
Yeah, I'm their dad.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even think I'm not like, did they eat? Did they get a bath? Like, I'm like, he can fully do literally everything.
Yeah.
And there's a learning curve that, like, obviously if you have a baby and you're just both still figuring it out, but like these people didn't all just have babies. And so I was just like, wow.
Be grateful.
Yeah, be grateful. And then also like make sure that you and your spouse are probably both on the same page of like, this is a really important thing that like in this new season of our life, this can feel like, you know, we're trying to trim the fat, right? Like, okay, we got to get what we need to get done because it feels like your plate is so full. It's like, this is actually something that has to stay and has to stay a priority.
Yeah, it does.
And it can look so different. Like, honestly, when I'm saying like socializing, I'm literally talking about like tonight we're going to our friend's house that also has kids and we're just eating dinner at their house.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just mom to mom. Like your husband can be included. Like through our church, Caleb and I have community group. We've met with these same, there's 8 of us total. We've met every week for 3 years. That's awesome. Every week. And had dinner together, and we'll split up like guys and girls, and the girls would go chat for like an hour and the guys would go chat, and we'll just share like, because not everything needs to be shared between men and women, you know? Right. But it's like, that's just so filling. And when you have repetition, I think to answer the question of how we got so close, like it really is time. Like we've just spent so much time, and we've prioritized a lot of time, and we've like included each other in a lot of things. And so when you invest in people, you'll get those relationships back. And so I think it's just taking those steps. Like you would always invite us over for dinner. You still always invite us over for dinner. I'm like, you guys.
I love making dinner for people.
It made me sad when you guys knew that we were going to tell you we were pregnant because like they never invited us over for dinner. I was like, that's not true. Well, maybe it's true. So I've been trying to be better. I've been trying to be better about it and just like inviting, just like including people into your world. And
I think it was because it was a weeknight too.
That is a huge factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not hanging out. Caleb wakes up so early. We're not hanging out on the weeknights. But yeah, investing time in people. I think like how that relates to the gym is like if you're going to the same class times, you see the same people all the time, you get that FaceTime and you just start to like remember names and people and places, and that's really good. So like repetition.
That's actually represented in research too. Not to be like,
give us the facts.
No, but and I'm not going to quote the correct thing, but it's people mistakenly think that it's these peak experiences that are what bonds you to a person and makes them a good friend. So they think like, oh, I went study abroad with them for like a month and we saw all these crazy sights together. We're going to be best friends for life. Chances are you're never going to meet up with them again.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking summer camp experiences, like, oh, this random person that you like went skydiving with one time, like all these random things. You would think that like, oh, we experienced like really high highs and low lows together. We're going to be that's not actually what the case.
Right.
It's consistency over time. And a lot of those things tend to be mundane, like eating dinner, going on walks, even just like, I don't know, getting coffee together or just like watching kids together. Those are the things that like prove to build stronger relationships with people.
Yeah.
And so it shouldn't feel, I know it can feel overwhelming, but knowing that, it should feel a little relieving to know that's like, okay, I made major progress today because we sipped coffee while our kids crawled around the playground. Yeah. That was progress. And like, you don't have to put all these pressures around it. And maybe some friends are just friends for a season, or maybe it was like, okay, like there doesn't have to be all these pressures around it, but it's just the fact that you have to know that it's important for you and for others. And because the other thing too is that you're also serving those around you too. Yeah. It's not just so you can like take care of yourself. Like I just think about our own friend group. Like I was actually just thinking about this when I was making dinner the other night. Like so many, oh my gosh, it's gonna make me cry. I care about these women like so much. And I just think about everyone's stage of life. Like a lot of our friends are going through some serious stuff. And I'm so thankful that they don't have to do it alone, that we're all like carrying those burdens together, because it's just that's how we were designed. And I feel like we have strayed as a culture from that so heavily. Yeah. And yeah. Yep. I'm just thinking about that a lot, because I just think about all the meal trains that we've had within our friend groups, and it's for all kinds of different reasons. Yeah. Some of them are really sad, and some of them are celebrations. And it's just like, which also I should say that's a really good thing we should announce. Like meal trains are a great thing for your like friends. Like it's just a website that you can like sign up to make a meal for friends. But nothing really shows love and nurturing than like a home cooked meal when you're struggling the most, or when you're entering a new season and like you're just trying to get your feet on the ground again. Yeah. So that's a really great way to also build community and share with your friends. I can't think about like how many meal trains we've had among our friends.
I was gonna say I got invited to another meal train for someone at church today, and I was reflecting on that this morning. I was like, just I don't know why the meal train, it just hit me like that. I was like, so many people are surrounding so many people, and it's really, really cool to see, and being a part of that and being someone who can step in. And I'm like, I'm signing up for a meal train for someone who brought me one a month ago. Yeah, like it's really, really cool to just be able to make someone dinner and bring it to their house and know that they were thinking about you or praying over that meal as they were making it. And like, it's very intentional, taking the time out of their day to make that for you. And it really is really special.
The kids' birthday parties. Think about how many birthdays we've spent with, like, I think I've been to every single one of all of our friends. Like, I'm like, oh, I went to your first, your second, your third. And it's like, I know kids' birthday parties get made fun of, but honestly,
I love them. It's for the parents.
It's for the parents. Like, it's so fun.
We get to go socialize.
Like the dads have started hanging out. Matt and some of the dads have hot dad Saturday every Saturday. I always make fun of Matt though, because being the type B parent that he is, every time there's hot dad Saturday, every Saturday morning, my kid comes home and I'm like, I never bought this brand of diapers. And I find wrappers in our car. I'm like, I've never bought these snacks before. And I'm like, did you pack a diaper bag? He's amazing, but doesn't think ahead like a mom.
He's not packing a bag.
And my friends are like, I sent them with extra because I knew that.
That's sweet.
That's how you know. Like, you're such a sweet community that they know that.
Literally, Caitlin's always like, I packed these. She's like, I knew my kids wouldn't eat them. She's like, I was thought about you when I cut these up this morning. Like,
how many moms pack snacks for CJ when I was like, he doesn't eat snacks, and then he gets them, he's like, snacks. You guys always have extras for him because I'm type B.
Type B?
Yeah. I think to your point, Addie, like, it's not a burden. People don't feel burdened by your presence or burdened by you asking for help, or even if you're not asking for it.
It's an honor.
It's an honor to come alongside other women and do that, and just be there for one another. So never think of your time as like, I don't want to annoy them with my kid, or what if my kids have big feelings. It's like every kid has big feelings, and like that's just part of it. And we never judge other people's kids. It's like we just parent alongside each other, and like, or like little babies, it's like you just bring them along, and it's so fun having the baby there, And so it's just never think about your presence as like a burden, or your kid as like, oh, they're going to be annoyed by your kid. Like they're going to love it. I think sometimes those are like insecurities that are really common, or like thoughts to go through your head, because it is just harder to get out the door than when it's just yourself.
Yeah, I was going to add in saying yes when people are offering help or things like that. It's very easy to be like, no, it's okay. I don't want to bother you. But letting people serve you, I think I've said that before. Like, for example, you offered to watch Brielle on my birthday. And I think at the gym, I was like, I don't know. Let me ask Blake. I don't know. I don't know if we have any plans. Like, you don't have to do that. And then Blake was like, no, let's do it. Like, and I don't know why I couldn't just be like, yeah, that'd be great, thanks. And and you're my sister. Like, I was like, why did I hesitate to say, sure, that would be great if you could do that so we could go out to dinner. So I think saying yes more often is important.
Totally.
I think also the suggestion would maybe be if you're like, I want to start this, but people aren't like, I don't have that circle around me. The suggestion is what I gave before, which is like go first and be weird, but like literally be the first to offer. It's like, hey, why don't you guys go on a date this weekend? Bring your kids over. Our kids would love. Also, my kids love playing with other kids.
Yeah.
Like it makes my job easier. I'm like, everyone's 100% entertained this whole time.
Yep.
And so I'm like, and then like you said, saying yes to those things, and then also like returning the favor every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I think this also brings up the other point that I am hesitant to also share. But I think it's because we're afraid of talking about these things that it's not changing.
Sure.
I do also think that in culture today, overly anxious parenting is praised.
It's really damaging. Yeah.
It's praised too. It's like,
yeah.
I couldn't leave him with anybody for X, Y, and Z amount of time. It's
right.
like, that's not necessarily like, I don't want to be rude. Like I want to honor that anxiety of like leaving your kid in the hands of someone else for even a short amount of time is a really scary thing when you've grown that kid and raised that, spent every waking hour with that kid. But that temptation to like continue in that pattern, it's not serving your kid either.
Right.
Like it's really obviously only in safe hands.
Yeah,
Gosh.
only people you like trust with your life, not
I
just like
crying.
random people.
Today was the first time I like have handed up my babysitter Brielle. Like while Brielle's been awake, usually she's there when she's sleeping, and she said hi, and then Brielle just the biggest smile on her face, and it just like.
They love other
It was
people
really
too.
sweet to see her like be like so happy to see her babysitter.
Yeah.
Like,
Aw,
and
that's
she's
sweet.
literally 6 months old, and
Yeah.
so that just spoke to me right there, seeing that.
That's really sweet, Addie. It's so true. It's like it's good for your kids to like get out of your house and be around other people too, and just experience that. It's so healthy for them. And yeah, obviously only like people you fully trust, of course.
And not for long periods of time.
Yeah,
but,
it's not all day.
Yeah, and so it's like obviously you as the mom are uniquely equipped to be like the main nurturer and carrier for your kid. But this you don't need to put this pressure on yourself because it's also unsustainable. And I think that's also why people are struggling so much in motherhood.
Right.
And so yeah, I just want to say like I literally love being a mom so much. I do not feel depleted by my kids. I don't feel like they hold me back in any way. And I am sad when I put them to bed at night.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because I'm like, oh, we had so much fun today. Like, why does it have to end? I feel that way literally almost every day. And I'm not saying you have to feel that way, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to feel like this monotonous, super, torturous thing.
Totally. And sometimes I think about what people get really anxious about online. It's like, okay, maybe you're not like the most prepared mom you leave the door and it's like, what's the worst that happened? Okay, they have a blowout. Okay, so you put them in their car seat and their diaper. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be perfect every time we go out. We don't have to. I just feel like the internet puts so much pressure on moms to know all the things and do all the things and have the right gadgets and have the right bag and have all the gear and do all the things.
That's just marketing.
It's
literally just marketing.
It's marketing, and but it adds then that's like, oh, I need these things, and if I don't have them, then I'm probably not doing the best as a mom, and not being the most efficient. And it's like those are subliminal thoughts that are put on us, and it's like I'm just saying we need to cast all that off, and we need to say we're done with that.
We're done.
We're done with that. It doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to make motherhood so dreadful. And I get so sad online when I see all these videos of parents like dogging on their kids and dogging on being a mom, and then the comments are like, this was great birth control. I'm like, okay, first of all, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. Like, we don't have to make motherhood this like big, scary, terrible thing. Like, it's so fun and amazing, and like your kids really just need you, and they love you, and they just need your time, and they need friends, and
when you get to do it together, it makes it like it's night and day different.
Yes.
You're gonna, and I promise you that. And I know it's so scary, and especially if you're moving or you feel like, oh, my schedule doesn't allow it. Like, it's like, just find tiny ways in which you can just do a little bit more, and it will your family will feel a difference.
Yes, totally.
And
we've been talking about this for so long.
Sorry. I'm so passionate about it.
I know, me too. I think it's because we just see the lies so much online.
And I'm also just so grateful for like our community. Seriously, so grateful.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, I would say naturally just like having deep friendships and being really invested with people, you're going to have conflict that comes up and arises.
People want to know what our fight was, Abby.
Oh, I hurt Abby's feelings. I hurt her feelings. And so what did I do? I called you the minute I found out that I hurt your feelings.
You did.
And I said, I'm sorry. And I just feel like I think that's a big part. I always think through, I'm like, why do people have like strained relationships with their family or strained relationships with people in their life, I think it probably goes a lot with like just really poorly handled conflict that's not resolved well. And I'm sure like a lot of repetitiveness of that. And so when I think about how I want to handle things, especially being family, it's like I do the same thing with my sisters. Like I want to call and I want to make it right. And if I said something that hurts your feelings, then I want to apologize for it, even if I didn't recognize it. I think that's a lot of it, is like a lot of times not recognized.
Totally.
And I think understanding the intent of people is important, but like, yeah, I think just owning up to it and like swallowing your pride and just be like, man, I'm really sorry that I hurt your feelings. Will you forgive me?
You're literally the best at that. And it's like, and I feel like this is where it's like my fault in this whole conflict being vague. And it's, guys, by the way, it really wasn't that big of a deal.
No.
Like, I feel like we also rarely have conflict, but it's like a big lesson for me is go directly to the person like that. And I feel like that's also an honoring thing. It can feel like, especially if you're in a conflict avoidant person, it feels like you're maybe doing right by that person by just shutting up. It's not. That's not the case. Like, it's honoring to that person to go directly to that person and say, hey, like, I know your heart and I know that you would never intend to do this, but X, Y, and Z made me feel this way. And I guarantee that person will maybe if they're not used to that, maybe they won't handle it well. I don't know. But hopefully, like in that moment, but hopefully down the line, they'd be like, oh, you know what, you were kind of right for that. I honestly think any good friend would be like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of this comes from just like knowing your friends' hearts. And so like, I think women especially are like afraid to like say those things. But all that to say, just bringing it out in the open. And I'm not saying, I think there's a lot of power in the art of letting things go. I'm not saying that, but when it's something that's like, oh man, feels like it's repeated, or if this feels like something that I can't stop thinking about and it's affecting when I interact with them in person, like things like that, it's affecting our interactions. It's like, just honor them by just going to them directly. Right. And it doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be nasty. There doesn't have to be anything weird about it. And honestly, it can just be a really cordial conversation. And so it can be really hard to do, though, especially if you're like, oh, my gosh, like, I know they don't mean this X, Y, or Z way.
Yeah, I was nervous to call. Like, I was like, dang, like, this is going to be hard. I just felt so bad, because it's like you just don't realize sometimes the way that you do or don't say something can affect. And so, yeah, I mean, I remember being like, the last thing I want to do is like call and say this because it is a hard conversation. But I was so glad that sometimes then also just like sitting on those thoughts when you know you need to have that conversation with someone, that is like sometimes even harder,
Just
and
do
then
it.
it's like, you got to do it and call. And it's okay to say like, I was wrong, like that's a good thing to say to people. It's good to swallow your pride and do that.
Abby is like literally the best person at taking any kind of criticism or feedback. Like I just wish I could handle things that way.
No, same, honestly.
You guys do. You both do. No, I feel like you do.
I feel like we had a similar type of thing, and you came to me and were asking if I was hurt by something, and I was like, I was like, you want me to be honest? Like, and we got to have that conversation. I feel like because I know you, we were able to have a very honest conversation about it. And I feel like knowing your heart behind it, I was like, I can be honest with her because I know her character. I know their feelings behind this. I know these are things that I might have been feeling weren't true, but I just need to hear them instead of just telling myself that they're not true necessarily.
Hey, all feelings are true.
I don't think they
may not be right, but it's true. Like,
yeah, they're real, but they're not trusted.
Like, they can't be trusted.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like, I don't remember where I heard that. And the first time I think it might have been like a sermon or something, but it's like all feelings are valid, but they can't all be trusted. Yes. So you have to like filter through your feelings. And it's like, is this, what is lie? What is true? What is, you can't just take every feeling and be like, well, I feel that way. And it's like, well, let's peel that back. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that and let's filter it.
And like anything, like approaching it's like learning where to take personal responsibility too. And like, don't be afraid to also own up to that with that person and be like, hey, like, here's where I could have done things differently, or here's what I should have done. And I think that can also be really meaningful. And that also brings to say, like, if you think you've hurt someone's feelings, also you can go first and just be like,
I feel like we do that all the time with each other.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes it gets a little out of hand. I'm like,
no, I'm sorry. No,
I'm like, wait,
no, I'm sorry.
Like, did I hear your feelings? They're like, no.
I just left and I'm overthinking this, but when I said this, it could have come across as this.
Yes.
And I think it's just because we're all really honest with each other, and like that's bound to happen, and we all like love each other and deeply care, and also are like family. So you cross some lines at times because it's like, hey, we're family. Like I can hold you to a closer standard, different standard, and like, but obviously within reigns.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying, Addie, too, like when you handle conflict well, it brings you closer together. Like now you trust, you can have these open, candid conversations because you know how the other person handles it.
Yeah, there's a lot of safety in that.
So much safety.
Yeah, we have a history of overcoming things. So it's like there's nothing that's going to like knock us down.
Yeah.
Like, nothing that's going to permanently burn this bridge.
I also think it's important when it's family that there's an extra level of, we need to resolve this. We're not, if it's just a friend, sometimes you're like, I'm not going to see him for a couple weeks.
Totally.
We don't need to resolve that, do this. And so with family, I think there's an urgency to it a little bit more than there may be with friendships.
And a reason to go directly to them.
And go directly to them, especially with like spouses involved or things like that, when it's like, I'm not going to rant to Blake about something because he's going to be like, nope, go talk to her. I'm like, oh, okay.
I love that. It's true.
It is true.
It helps when your husbands don't like to gossip. It keeps me in check.
Yeah.
Not that I'm gossiping about you guys.
Addie, we know.
I have lots to talk about.
I don't want to. Here's my problem. It's always navigating the line of like, okay, I'm being honest and genuine to myself, but also like I don't want to water down. Like I don't want to water down the crap out of things where I have no opinion at all.
For sure.
So now it's towing that line.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you know what? If I feel this is a safe place to say
talk about it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, and also I trust that people will tell me if I'm wrong. So.
No, well, definitely let us know if we're wrong. They'll let us know. Yeah, they love our look at everybody clean.
And an act of defiance.
That was actually a great tip,
I wore my own socks.
My mom bought me socks. She was like, "Your socks are disgusting."
Why do people care?
Hey, also my socks are clean. They're just permanently stained.
Yeah,
because
mine
how
are too.
often are we rebuying socks?
I want to see your
I've been wearing the same
socks.
socks for 3 years.
If
Yeah,
you're commenting
so we get
about
holes.
our socks being dirty, I want to see your socks.
My mom, she's a doer. She goes, "That was a problem. I bought you new socks." she's
Honestly.
she's a fix the problem.
Would you rather
girly.
see her toes? I'm surely not.
Maybe.
No, you'll not see my
I
toes.
was actually just talking to somebody whose brother-in-law
Has a foot fetish? Has one or is?
has one. She's like, that's why we can't really hang out. She's like, it's like serious. Growing up, her husband had friends over, and he woke up. His brother was sucking on his friend's toes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is going on?
A man sucking on another man.
I don't know. I don't know the genders.
The genders.
Everyone's got toes.
I mean, it's a joke for a reason. There's probably some truth to it. A lot of people are into that.
I actually had, as a self-preservation thing, I just said foot fetishes aren't real.
Oh, sure.
And turns out it is. I told her, I said, no, in my head, I told myself it's not real. And she's like, it is real. I was like, no. Okay, wow, we're going off the rails. Let's listen to a voicemail right about now.
Woo!
Ask Abby.
Hi, Abby, and Addie. My name is Grace, and I just wanted to say how much I absolutely love listening to your new podcast, Always Here. You guys have such great energy, and it really feels like I'm just hanging out with friends while listening. And my question for you guys is, what podcast do you guys like listening to? Thanks so much. Bye.
That's really
Sweet. Thanks, Grace. Let's go down the list.
I'll get my iPhone out.
Okay. I like Diary of a CEO.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of those.
I like Unplanned. Shut up. I do. I listen every Wednesday.
Oh, that's cute.
I have to say, since we started this one, I've listened a little less.
It's just so
a lot
much
of
of my
podcasts.
freaking
I
yapping.
get so much of you guys. Not in a bad way. I
No,
don't want to
that's too much.
No, it's not too much. I just don't want to ruin some of the stuff that we talk about.
Right.
That you guys might talk about Unplanned. De-Influenced by Danny Austin, Jordan Ramirez. They're a fun one.
Fun.
Sometimes I listen to Whoa, That's Good by Sadie Robertson. They just had a really good episode I listened to. Her and her mom did a messy conversation on Botox and fillers. Did you see that one?
I haven't seen that one.
I love those, like her format of that.
Well, I listen to John Deloney 3 times a week, which is a little crazy. I listen to true crime as a category, so I have 48 Hours, Dateline, Crime Junkie. I also listen to Diary of a CEO, Arthur Brooks, and Ginger and Jeremy podcast.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
They're the sweetest.
I listened to this one called The Glossy Podcast. They're a fashion news podcast. I like that one a lot.
If anyone also sends me a random one-off podcast, it also automatically, like if they text it to me, it automatically goes into my Apple Podcasts, and then I listen to those too. So there's a lot of one-off ones from families and friends.
Right.
That's so good of you to listen to ones that people send you. I feel like sometimes people send things and you just never listen to them
I
or
do.
watch
I
them.
feel honored.
I listen.
Abby sends me some, yeah.
That's good to know.
No, you sent me a good one the other day, and it was like 3 hours. I was like, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I thought they'd be a good guest on Unplanned.
I know.
I know.
I
Work on
listen
that one.
to Chicks in the Office for my pop culture news, and then I listen to true crime if I'm on a really long drive.
It has to be long.
It has to be long. It has to be at least 45 minutes so I can listen to the whole thing. A lot of Crime Junkie.
Yeah, I need more like fun ones. Oh, I also listen to That's the Point pod by Kristen Johns and John Volk. I like listening to them. They're fun. It's kind of similar vibes. I feel like they're just like chatty. Yeah.
Hi, Abby and Addie. I'm Jana. I just wanted to say you guys are all so beautiful, and I love this podcast so much. My question is, when you get a boyfriend, how do you make sure he doesn't become your whole identity? Thank you.
Ooh, that is such a
I
good
think I
question.
did that in high school. I did marry him, though, so it paid off.
I think I did do that.
Did she say if your boyfriend becomes your whole identity?
How to not
Yeah.
make your boyfriend become your
Ooh,
whole
let me
identity.
text my friends if I did that. You go ahead, keep going.
It is so hard when you first start dating not to like get swept up in the feelings because it's so fun. And obviously if you're young and you're in high school and stuff, like you only have weekends to really hang out. And so you want to just hang out with them all the time. I think it's just being really, really important that when your girlfriends invite you to hang out, you hang out with them and you don't flake on them to hang out with your boyfriend. That is a no-no. Don't flake on your girls to hang with your guy. That's a no-no. And don't always invite your guy to come along.
That's actually a different way of interpreting it than I thought.
What do you mean?
When we become your whole identity, I thought it meant like you start to like everything that he likes. Like you start to lose aspects of yourself and to just kind of like replicate him.
Oh, interesting.
I took it Abigail's way.
Oh, okay.
But it
Let's
could
talk
be either
about
way.
both because I think that's a good,
I think it turned a lot into Blake.
dangerous. Like
Codependency, yeah.
Well, to just like lose yourself, and obviously some things are gonna change, but it's also more important to make those changes probably in marriage than like with a boyfriend. You're like, okay, just don't like shed pieces of yourself because of a romantic relationship. And also that's probably the reason they started liking you in the first place too. So like have your own interests and likes and passions and thoughts and opinions on things inside a relationship. I think that's really important. I think it's especially easy for females to like kind of morph into like more like their partner.
Totally. I would agree.
But yeah, don't flake on your no. I did not do that. I did not do that.
That's what I thought you meant. I was like, really?
No, I had a lot of fun with my friends. We just hung out. We hung out a lot too. But yeah, I think that's a big temptation. Gosh, infatuation can really just. And here's the thing: you got to go into it knowing that you're gonna get infatuated because it should happen
part of
if
it.
you love them.
It's
That's
fun.
part of it. But you got to know how to like keep it in a box, like, and so it doesn't bleed out everywhere.
Yeah, I think you need to be okay saying no to your boyfriend. Like sometimes, like if you don't want to do something that they're doing, like it's okay to say no. You know?
Hi, Abby and Abby. My name is Mackenzie, and I'm planning a wedding right now. And I was wondering if there are anything that you wish you had put on your wedding registry, looking back, like the most random things, or just something that's not just plates and linens. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
Never in your life will you get to do that again.
I
Really,
know.
just think about that responsibility
I
right
know.
there.
That is heavy. I made a mistake. I registered at Macy's, and that just wasn't the vibe. I just didn't know you could register at other places.
Matt was in a really frugal era at this point, so we only did Amazon and Bed Bath & Beyond, which rest in peace, Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, I would say register for the good quality stuff. Because I still use all my stuff that we got as wedding gifts.
Yeah.
And it's been 7 years. Okay, something random. I was really upset that Caleb asked me to take the trash can off of our registry because he said, $100 for a trash can? That's absurd. And so we just got the $20 plastic one from Walmart, and it was ugly, stinky, and it had to be replaced multiple times. Where if we just got the really nice $100 stainless steel.
Trash can.
Get a nice trash can.
That's a really good advice.
Yeah.
I would say get a really good, nice. This is such a dorky thing to say. I'm thinking about the kitchen because here's the other thing too. I feel like your items that are going to get scooped up the most are in the $50 to $75 range.
Yep.
Or $50 to $100 range.
Yeah.
And so I feel like within that range, you can get really high quality staples that you'll use a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be like hundreds of dollars, but I think about my cast iron pot that I use literally all the time because you can use it like a skillet and a pot, and it can go in the oven. It's a great size. And yeah, I think that's a great advice to like, I'm not saying to get like bougie. I say focus on things that are $50 to $100.
Well, I'm going to
disagree.
Okay. Because like I think you should put a Dyson vacuum, like a cordless
totally.
vacuum, because people do group gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm way more likely to get an individual gift because when someone uses something, I want them to think about me.
Like, that's funny.
But I think I think like older people that you're inviting and close people, they'll just buy the whole thing probably.
And they'll get big gifts. Like that's where you're gonna get your big gifts is your wedding. So I would put some of those expensive things on. There will be people in your life that do that. I'd say a KitchenAid, an expensive one.
Yeah.
A good knife set.
A good knife set. I was hassled for putting a KitchenAid on there. I use it literally multiple times a day. So I'm like,
I put it on ours.
It was worth it. KitchenAid's great. Yeah, good knife set. That's
Abby, you
huge.
got me a TV. I think about it every time I look at it.
Oh,
I forgot that I got a TV. Now I'm happy. See, I wanted her to think about me.
It's a staple in our house. We use it every day.
Every day, baby.
Multiple times. We're the TV people.
That's so true. Funny. I would say put the things on there that you're going to use every day or like frequently and that aren't going to change from place to place that you move.
Yeah, the things that I did not use, themed fabric, like cloth napkins. I feel really sad about it, but I just don't want to use them.
The spiralizer accessory for my KitchenAid, never use it.
What would you spiralize?
You would spiralize like zucchini. I never did.
For what though? Noodles?
Right, exactly. That's when I was in my healthy girl era.
Eat noodles. I hate cauliflower rice and I hate zucchini noodles. I just gotta say it. I'm eating rice, white rice.
Don't make me spaghetti squash pasta.
With flour.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to our segment of always eating. And we have fun recipes for you guys. Mine is our tried and true cookie recipe that we both use.
I used it today.
I made it last night. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm going to cookies tonight. It is by Joy Food Sunshine. I will post it. My friend Abby, my other friend Abby, I have so many Abbies, sent me this. It's the perfect chocolate chip cookie every time.
Bella's the one who sent me this recipe.
Really? No,
yes.
My friend Abby sent it to me.
That's so funny because I got it from Bella. So this recipe, we're not the first ones to find it.
We're not the first one to find it.
It is titled the best chocolate chip cookie recipe, and it is. I will say the recipe includes not me taking your recipe.
Take it away.
Includes 2 cups of chocolate chips. Yeah. But you can also play around with it. Yes. I made them one time with white chocolate chips and regular chocolate chips. I did it with regular chocolate chips and mini M&Ms. You can really swap those out for other inclusions. Just keep it to 2 cups of like inclusions.
Yes.
But
I did
it's
pink
a great
sprinkles
base.
and chocolate chips for Valentine's Day. So cute.
So fun.
Did you do M&M's in the one today?
Yeah.
That was good. I ate it before this episode.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have another cookie. Go ahead, another cookie.
The recipe I'm including is, I feel like this is a universal crowd pleaser. I feel like your kids will eat it, you'll eat it, and I've made it multiple times, probably for both of you also. It's my healthy hamburger helper.
Wait, didn't you do that last time?
No, I did shrimp tacos.
Oh, so sorry. You're right.
I'm a one-trick pony, though. I do use the same recipes over and over.
I mean, it's delish.
It saves really well for lunches. I feel like you could, and you sneak in some veggies. It has spinach and carrots, but you will not taste it, and it's really, really flavorful. I didn't grow up eating Hamburger Helper.
Never, me neither.
Oh, did you eat Hamburger Helper, Addie?
Yes.
Does it taste like what I make? Have you had it before?
I haven't had a Hamburger Helper in a long time. But I actually don't think I've had your Hamburger Helper.
Okay, well, I'm
crazy.
Someone's going to have to let me know if that actually tastes like Hamburger Helper because it's really, really yummy and has sneaky vegetables and protein in there. And it's really quick. Really quick.
Love it.
Okay, wow. What a chatty episode.
That was fun.
That was really, really fun.
We needed a heavy one after the fails last week. Not a heavy, but a deeper one.
I felt heavy. I felt like I hope it's heard.
We bared
right.
our souls.
I hope it's heard right.
We love you. That's all that matters.
Yes. And we also are very thankful to those of you that constantly show your support to the show, not just by listening, but also by hearting it, liking it, subscribing, downloading, sharing with a friend, and especially those of you that give us 5 stars and write a review, just like Jasmine, who says 5 stars, just the girls. As a 25-year-old married mom to a little boy, it can sometimes feel like I'm in the minority in this generation, which is why this podcast is such a breath of fresh air. It honestly feels like sitting down with the girls, laughing, unwinding, and having real, meaningful conversations without judgment. I'm so grateful I found it. Highly recommend.
Oh, thank you, Jasmine.
I distinctly remember being 25 years old with a little boy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm not far off from that, 27. But it's really special to be in your ear like that on your car rides while you're doing your laundry. And so thank you. It really does make such a difference, and our whole team really appreciates it. If you also want to leave a voicemail like we listened to at the end of today's episode, you too can call in. The number is 602-456-9690, and we love hearing from you guys. It really, really means so much. So thank you for those of you that have called in and engaged with the podcast in that way.
And hey, we're reading the comments. I'm reading them, and if you guys leave good stuff, that'll be a podcast segment. So
right, it was today.
Yeah, it was. So thank you guys so much again for leaving comments and engaging and starting conversation. Are we doing a book club?
What do you mean?
Or are we waiting for making more decisions on what?
We already said the book last week.
What was it again?
Atmosphere.
What is it? Atmosphere. Okay, bye.
Taylor Jenkins Reid. I thought you were ending the podcast, so they were saying bye. I was like, all right, well, it's coming soon anyway. So if you want to read the book, pick up the book.
Okay.
We'll put those details in the description as well. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Okay, perfect. And we're going to figure out what our new avenue is for that.
We're still brainstorming.
We're going to read your comments.
Yes, we're going to read them from the last episode. Okay, you guys, we are so grateful for you. And remember, we're always here.